if you think about it, when we're grandparents and our kids are older, are we going to want them to all come? Yes.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So
Yeah.
we have to understand our parents' wishes too, so that it can keep going generation to generation.
Welcome back to the Love SND podcast. I am Dipti, your host, and I am joined by my lovely sisters, Sheena and Nina. Say hi.
Hi, guys.
Today's episode is about one of the most complicated yet beautiful relationships in parenting, grandparents.
Yes. I would also say rewarding.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it is a blessing, and I wouldn't say a curse, but it is a blessing that we definitely have to take in stride because every day is different. But they are hands down, and let's just put this right at the forefront, they are hands down the best things that have ever happened to us.
100%.
So let's start even there. Let's start with the good. I'm going to start with the fact that I have free babysitting forever and ever and ever. And the fact that they're in India right now is the hardest thing that I've had to deal with because, like I said before, we are in hibernation 4 months out of the year because Mom and Papa D leave us to go to India.
Yeah. I mean, for us too, I think over babysitting, I just think to have their influence for our children, good and bad, honestly, like they learn so much and so many people are not fortunate to have that. So the fact that we have all four, five, six, including Nina's, like we are so blessed. And I literally thank God for it every day. There are the clashes, but honestly, the good way outweighs the bad. So I'm here for it. I'm here for grandparents till the end of time. Like they are, I think they're a crucial part of our children growing up. Crucial.
Oh, for sure. Neen, what's your pro?
Well, first, I think just to kind of talk about what Sheena just said about Mom and Papa D in terms of influence on the kids, the musical talent that they have instilled in them is second to none. It's so incredible. They played tabla, they played the harmonium, they played sorts of instruments that, I feel like we look for these classes and we can't even find them. And then here they are singing bhajans at like 2 years old, and we have the videos to prove it. And it's just so stinking cute.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
So stinking cute.
if y'all don't know, Mom and Papa D are very big at the temple, very involved, and they get our kids involved, which is one of the most beautiful things about living so close to them and then the influence they have on the kids. And what Nina's talking about is when our kids go to the temple, my father-in-law will make them sit right next to him, and he's, I guess, the equivalent of a pujari, like a priest. So he will make the kids sit next to him and he will make them learn the bhajans, play the piano, play the tabla, even do like the, what do you call them? The
Tambourines.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really, really cute.
It's amazing. It's amazing. And then also just the emotional support. They are our sounding boards, right? We call them with any little problem that we have and they'll listen. They'll provide that support. They'll even offer to take the kids when we're drowning with just being a parent.
Life, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think for us, what's been incredible is the talents, the natural raw talents that the grandparents have helped the kids discover. So Neil and I are both not artistically inclined. And my father-in-law is an incredible artist. And the fact that he's brought that out in all three of the girls, which we would have never known ever, has been amazing. And my mother-in-law is, into yoga and healthy eating and Ayurveda and all of that. And whenever they're with them, every morning is a yoga session. We're always learning about healthy options for eating and where we can make little switches and things like that. So these are knowledge sets that we don't have that I feel like supplement the kids growing and learning in a way that there's no other chance that we could have done that. And then with mom and dad, it's, we all know. It's like, go live your best life, okay? Okay, Nana, reel it back, Nana.
Yeah. The spoiling,
The spoiling, and
everything
Yes.
you want.
So let's definitely unpack that, because as much as we adore them and absolutely cannot live without them, our kids growing up with their parents and their grandparents definitely has its set of challenges. And at least in my house, it's my parents are saying this, but Dadi and Dada or Nani and Nana are saying something completely different. And so where are they supposed to find the balance, right? So let's talk about some examples of where we say one thing and they say the other. And I'm going to start because this one drives me crazy. But it's eat everything on your plate.
Yeah.
Right? That we grew up with. If you don't eat, I'm going to stuff it down your pants. Do you remember Anju Auntie used to say that to us?
Yeah. Yeah.
We absolutely had to finish every little bite on our plate. And now we try to tell our kids that you eat until you're full. You don't eat until because somebody else decided how much is appropriate for you to eat. Is that the same thing for you guys?
I still think I'm on the clear your plate path only because I don't like wasting food. Like I honestly don't. And so I'm kind of take how much you're going to eat first. And then if you want more, take more. But I am not a eat until you're full and then waste the rest of it. That doesn't resonate with me. And it was different when they were little, right? Because we would just serve them. And I think that's how we grew up too. Like we were force fed, but you know, it was instilled in us like finish what's on your plate. Like we're not throwing away food. So,
I
like,
mean,
now,
again, your kids are older now, so they're taking their own food. For us, we're still preparing their plates. Nia, is it the same for you?
I think our biggest challenge has been the grandparents comparing how much the kids eat against each other. So like the boys can eat my entire pantry and refrigerator in the same day.
and some.
And then need to go to like Diplomasi's house.
They're like, Neil Massa, can you order Taco Bell now?
Literally, like it's just, it's never enough. And then the girls eat like pigeons compared to them, you know? So it's mom being like, you don't feed the kids enough. And I'm like, okay, but my kids are not the boys and they can't eat that much. Like they can't down 10 Thipla at the same time. Like their bellies get full. So it's not even a matter of finish what's on your plate. It's a matter of like, just eat till you're full. Again, what Sheena's saying, take how much you want, eat till you're full. But also if they're distracted with TV or wanting to play because everybody else is done, then they're not going to eat till they're full or finish their plate.
Another thing that I think we really differ on, especially with mom and dad and also my in-laws really, is the money thing. It is wild to me. We try to teach our kids the value of money. It's already so hard for us because we want to give them everything that we possibly can while still trying to keep them humble and understand the value. But when mom and dad come into the picture, mama and Papa D come into the picture, I'm just like, guys, can we reel it back in? I will give you a prime example. And I feel like this scarred me and this probably scarred Cyan too.
Like, oh God. Why is Cyan the always one scarred in all
it's
these
just crazy.
stories?
It's just crazy. I remember when he was really young, he used to have this like wild temper. Like he just couldn't control it. And he just used to get upset and mad at the smallest things. I think we talked about this on another episode about the ice cream. But when we were at Nani and Nana's house, mom would always say, Cyan, if you don't get mad about this, I will give you $100. And it happened. Like she physically gave him $100 bill. And it happened over and over and over again. So much so that he has savings of Nani's money. But like, it was almost like she didn't think anything about it. But like in hindsight, I'm like, you paid him to not get angry about little things, you know? And even just like getting things, it's almost like their first instinct now is like, for example, these Super Bowl tickets, as soon as the Eagles won, they're like, we're going to ask Nana. I'm like, it's a no. It's a hard no, you know?
Yeah.
But their first instinct. And exactly. Even
Nana was like, okay, I'll give you X amount of money that you can put towards a Super Bowl. And I was like, no, Dad, that's not how it works.
Yeah. But that's a really hard because like, obviously they want to spoil their grandchildren to death. And we want that for them too, right? Because they now are so comfortable that they can do that when they maybe couldn't do as much for us growing up. So I don't want to take that away from them, but it's sometimes hard to teach the kids the value of that dollar when it's coming so easy to them from the grandparents. I think Nina, all three of us go through the same
We
thing.
have this
at least
conversation all the
with
time.
Nani and Nana. It's wild.
Well, I'll tell you that now the girls, all three of them, if they want to buy something, if they want to go to a birthday party and they have to get a gift for their friend, or they want to decorate someone's locker for their birthday, that all comes out of their money, like their little wallets that they have. And we actually make them pay us. Like, okay, you wanted this $35 bronzer for your friend's birthday? Like, okay. I mean, at CVS, it's like $4, but sure, I'll go get you the name brand bronzer for your friend. But
Your
then I'll take
12-year-old
$35.
friend.
Yeah, I'll take $35. And I'm like, you know what? Because at the end of the day, we're still buying them stuff.
Yeah.
But they need to learn that, like, oh crap, I'm spending $35 of my wallet money to buy this for my friend. Like, hello, $4.99, $34.99. Big difference. Like, one day they'll understand that, right?
But Neen, what are some challenges that you face with the in-laws? And again, I don't want to harp on the challenges because again, this is
but I think
thank God that for them.
Like I read somewhere, it's everybody's first time parenting and grandparenting, right? None of us are perfect. We're all learning. It just is what it is. But you're going to clash because everybody, especially moms, feel like they know best, right? Like, I know my kids best, and then they know their kids best, and so on and so forth. So I think one of the things that we really struggle with is that, again, you know that I'm a hands-off parent, kind of like, you figure your stuff out, wake up when you need to wake up, get your work done when you need to get your work done. And they are very, very time focused. Like, things happen at a certain time. You get up at a certain time. You have breakfast at a certain time. You have dinner at a certain time. So, you know, the scheduling where I'm kind of like, yeah, let them wake up at 10 and then they can figure out their day. And then Neil kind of is taking more of their format and is like, wake them up. They need to have their breakfast. They need to blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay. Okay. We're going to figure this out.
But the girls, I actually do love that about the girls, in that they are very conscious of the things that they have to get done throughout the day. And if they wake up late, they know they have to cram it in to the rest of the day. And if they wake up early, then they have all this time.
Yeah. And they get to watch their Saturday morning cooking.
That's a tough one. I feel like I'm like in between there. Like, I like a scheduled day.
Me too.
But then I love when the boys can just like sleep in a morning. And then I'm panicking. I'm like, when are you going to do this? When are you going to do that? But because I'm a helicopter. Everybody knows.
I was like, what's the sign for a helicopter mom?
I don't know. That's more like
helicopter mom. It's like go.
No, not like an eagle. Eagles fly free. Fly free. Not
that
like
is
an
true.
eagle.
There are also these generational things that we're trying to overcome with the parents too. And one of the big ones, which I think when Naya was born, is when I really started realizing that this is maybe an issue. And not maybe when she was born, but maybe when she was like 5-ish. And I'm like, wait a minute. But it's the hug debate. And I have this conversation all the time with people. And even sometimes my friends will ask for a hug and my kids will be like, And to me, it's like, I feel bad because it's like, oh, but she's my best friend. You can give her a hug. But then it's also like, no, you have full control over your body and you can do whatever you want. And I mean, with Zuri, I don't make her hug anybody, but I imagine you are the same way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, totally. I mean, personal space is personal space. I will say Naya's a hugger. Probably because of you guys. She'll hug everybody.
Everybody.
She's definitely more,
affectionate.
Affectionate. Yeah, that's the right word. Neva, not so much. She's like pace. And Nessa's somewhere in between. Like, if she loves you, she'll give you a hug. And if she's questionable, she's like, bye. But my big thing is like, it's okay. All of that is okay. Just be respectful in whatever way you want to say hi, bye, whatever. Just be respectful. Be kind. At the end of the day, that's all.
But the grandparents are really big on the hugging. Like, here is your dad's friend's uncle's son. Give him a hug. I'm like, no.
I feel like, is it just you? Like, I don't, maybe because I have boys, it doesn't, like, there's no hugging period. It's just like dabs all day. Like,
Yeah, but when they were younger, Sheen, they definitely got the whole hug this uncle and hug this auntie. I remember because I did think this when the kids were younger, that I didn't want this to be a thing. And even now, like if mom or dad say, or mom and papa D say, hug this uncle or auntie at the temple, I'll look at the kids and I'll be like, you can give them a high five. How about that? And they'll go for the high five.
Yeah. Maybe it's just more prevalent now. I don't really remember thinking about that when my kids were younger. So yeah, I mean, I think the right choice is to just let them make their own decision. On what they want to do.
It's also about giving them that like independence over their own body, but then also their own mind, not having to have to listen to somebody when it doesn't feel right to them,
Yeah.
And that I feel like that happens a lot, especially with kids who have grandparents who are always like, well, if you don't listen to me, like Nina said, you are being disrespectful. But really, it's them just expressing what's on their mind and who they are. And Nina, I feel like mom, kind of like how she was with me when you guys were in college, is, do what I tell you to do, talk with a low voice, or, whatever it is. It's just be respectful. But now that definition has changed so much.
Yeah, but I think that's how she was raised. Like you're thinking about how, like she grew up in Yemen, Aden, right? Like there was no being loud. There was no being visible. There was no raising your voice. There was no standing up for yourself, right? And so that's her definition of what a woman or a girl or daughter does to show respect to her society, right? And so now, as we slowly try to educate her on what it means to kind of tweak some of these definitions, I think she's also come around a lot. When I talk to her about, girls and what they want to wear and how they want to act and who they want to hang out with, she's understanding our point of view too. So, I mean, I think we're all just growing. First time for everybody.
Yeah, for sure. So let's talk about how we tackle these things, right? How we bridge the gap between their generation of parenting and our generation of parenting, and how the kids are now, they are the sandwich kids because they have to listen to mommy and daddy, but they also have to listen to daddy and dada and nani and nana. So for me, it's
Wait. Hold on. They are not no sandwich kids. They're like the icing on top of the bloody cake, okay? They're like, and we're just stuffed at the bottom trying to make all these rules that they don't want to listen to. So
that is absolutely
let's call
true.
them the icing on the cake.
Yeah, they are not.
They're also
not sandwich.
Spoiled from mommy and daddy, and
that's
also
right.
spoiled
that's
from
right.
nani and nana.
That's right.
And again, remember, they have zero fear, right? So they're not they're not scared about disappointing us. They're not scared about disappointing daddy and dada or nani nana. Like they are doing their thing. They are 100% not sandwich. They are
on the cake.
True. Yeah. True. Yeah. I think sometimes we overthink it. We really overthink the relationship and like these little battles, but really it's just like picking the right fights, right? It's like some things are just not worth fighting over. Like you want to go have cookies and donuts for 4 days at daddy and dada's, go for it. At least they're helping us. At least they're watching you. At least you're safe. It's not a big deal. Go for it. So it's just really like, are you going to fight over that? No. Like look at the bigger picture. Like they have a safe home and loving people around them. Yeah. That's all you need.
Absolutely. I tend to secretly parent my kids after the fact, where if something happens, like, for example, my father-in-law will say something like, stop crying, you're acting like a little baby, or like, so, something like that. And the kids clearly are like, wait a minute. After the fact, I'll be like, you know what? It's okay. Daddy and dada are right in that they just want you to be able to express yourself with words and not tears, but it's okay to cry. It's all right. You can express your emotion.
What do you do when you say that to them?
Nothing, because she's right.
Yeah. I like you say that all the time. I'm like, what? Cry. He's just releasing his emotion. Don't even say you don't say it. You 100% say it. And you scream it. You scream it like a lunatic.
I try after the fact to talk to him and be like, I'm sorry, but you were driving me nuts. And I screamed.
Poor guy.
It's not easy, guys.
I love that you're
we
like,
know.
It's
we
okay.
have 3 too.
It's okay, daddy and dada men. But I'm allowed to tell you to stop screaming and crying like a lunatic. I'm not going to make it.
It's like the after the fact parenting. Like, I'm sorry, my bad.
That, I'm
But
sorry,
you know what?
my bad is very important, though, I will
Yeah.
say. Whether
Yeah.
it's coming from grandparents or parents or siblings, if you mess up, just
Acknowledge.
acknowledge it to your kids
Mhm.
because they
And you
need
know
to
what?
know.
I've realized that when I say I'm sorry, he'll also say I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He'll be like, okay, I'm sorry for freaking out as well. I only freaked out because XYZ. And then I'll be like, well, I only freaked out because you freaked out.
Yeah.
So it does
Yeah.
work.
Neen, send help.
We're a hot mess.
Send
I
help.
know.
Send help.
Seriously. So let's talk about how we're keeping our parents' culture and values still alive and well within our kids, whilst also maintaining our own values and cultures, which, again, like we just discussed, sometimes do clash. What are you guys doing?
So we struggle a little bit because we're not big Monday goers, like, the first of the year or every holiday that happens on the Indian calendar. We're more of just pray at home, and it's one and the same. So mom is very much like go to the mandir or temple and go do all these big grand ceremonies and this and that. And then my in-laws are more like God is omnipresent, God is everywhere. So you can be sitting in a room in a peaceful, quiet place and pray there. So we meet somewhere in the middle. Sometimes when mom is just adamant that the girls dress up like little dolls and show up to this thing that's really important to her, we'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we are not like, hey, every Diwali we have to go, or every this we have to go, or every that we have to go. We pray every day.
Yeah.
We do bhajans every night before we go to sleep. And that's our form of keeping in touch with our culture. So
Yeah.
that's what we're doing.
See, I'm the exact opposite.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm somewhere in the middle. So I'm going to let you go. And then,
See, for us, well, first, I think just me as a person, and both of you know this, is I'm a grandparent pleaser. Like, I will do whatever they want us to do. And
You're a all humans pleaser. Let's just say it how it is.
yeah.
Yeah.
But for them, it's like going to the temple means for the in-laws. Also for mom, going to the temple means so much that we'll cancel plans, we'll make our time. And again, 4 months out of the year, we don't have to do anything. But when they are home and there's this puja for this person and that puja for the other person, and they really want you to be there, or we really want you to be there, we'll go. Also, because that's when Diev gets to sing his bhajans and practice his piano. And that is when Callan will get on the mic and sing. And that is when Zuri will actually like pray. Otherwise, at home, like you said, we do Devo every day and we do prayers at night, but there's no formal praying. Like, I think we did a lot of that growing up. Like, we did all the vrats and, all of that stuff that mom wanted us to do. So for us, it's going to the temple means so much to them. We'll concede and we'll go.
yeah. So for those that don't know, Dipti and I share in-laws. And so again, our in-laws, it's very important for them that our kids are part of their temple, their asur mandir life. And for me, when the boys were younger, we did do that. They did everything that Dipu's kids do now. Like they did the tabla, they did the singing and the piano and the harmonium. They did all of that and loved it. And we loved it too for them. As they got older, we as a family, and especially the boys, got busier with sports and games. And now there was a lot of collision as far as games and temple. They were all on Sundays, most of the time on Sundays. And we live a lot further now. So our priorities shifted. Not that they don't respect the religion and they don't respect the culture and the values. When it's something important, like we'll make the effort 100% at that time. But like all the ones that Dipti and co go to, we just physically can't be at because now their priorities are so different and they physically want to be at their games. So we don't want to take that away from them either. So we try to find a balance. Yeah. And for those that also don't know, us three are Hindu and Dipti and I's in-laws are Jain. So there's also these two cultures coming together that I love so much of our Hindu culture as well that I try to teach the boys. But again, I don't know enough to teach them. And for mom, like she's so focused on the girls, rightfully so, because like that's what she sees in them is us. So she just wants to redo it again times 8,000, which is beautiful. And so I try to teach them a little bit here and there. So I love to teach them that part of it too. So it's almost like we try our level best to make everybody happy and keep both sets of grandparents' cultures alive. And what's most important to them, we will be present for. But unlike the little Dedias, we don't actually put as much effort anymore, unfortunately. Let's see. I mean, you never know, right? That can change down the line. But
And I think that it was instilled at such a young age that it's part of them.
yeah,
It's not something that's foreign to them.
Yeah.
So in that way, when they're in their 20s and Dadi and Dada or Nana Nani, Dada Ba call, say, hey, this is really important, you have to come, they'll come.
yeah,
Because
exactly.
they know this is important, part of my culture.
And with that being said, I feel like it's also this balancing act, even outside of temple commitments. It's about them wanting us to be at a Diwali party or them wanting us to, whatever it is. It's usually something temple related, but there are these other events that they want us to show up
Like
at, or just these pujas.
They all went to Garba. They all enjoy it. They make the effort for all of us because all three of us love it so much.
Exactly.
They all go and make the effort. I feel like our kids are good like that. Like if they know it's important to us or Daddy and Dada or Nani Nana, they will make the effort. They won't be like, I don't want to go.
Yeah,
And
because
that's what
we
I'm saying,
started
like-
at a young age. I think we showed them the joy that the grandparents feel when they participate.
Yeah.
And like, if you think about it, when we're grandparents and our kids are older, are we going to want them to all come? Yes.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So we have to understand our parents' wishes too, so that it can keep going generation to generation. Because if we are like, whatever, they're just like always calling us to all these things. If we're like dismissive of it, they're going to be dismissive to us. They're going to be like,
That's exactly
you
it.
said.
Yeah. Like they're learning how to appreciate other people's priorities and feelings, and it's not all about what I want. It's also it's also about giving it to
Family.
what other people want. Exactly.
About family.
But you said it right, Neen. We are going to be those
Hell
crazy
yeah. I'll be like,
grandparents.
put on your chanya chori and your changlos and your bungarees and let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Karma's coming for you. You know
I
that, right?
know.
it is.
Oh, God.
It's coming your way, girl.
And as soon as any one of our kids say, you don't know what you're talking about, they're all going to get backhanded.
Yeah. It's literally what's going to happen. Lord
All
Almighty.
right, guys. Well, we would love to hear how you guys are balancing parenting and grandparenting.
Yeah.
And we'd love to hear your stories about how the grandparents don't necessarily align with
And how
your
they do.
parenting. And how they do. Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you for listening. Make sure to catch us on Spotify, YouTube, Instagram to chat with us. And we will see you next episode. As always, thanks for listening. With love, S&D.
Bye.